blast off and the clock has started.
Penis!
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hey guys, welcome to the 4th episode of the 2nd season of the Art Mart Brutal Brunch series. I am here with my friends Nathan Smith. Introduce yourself, bitch.
Okay, I'm Nathan Smith.
in case you
Good
didn't
talk.
know.
And the birthday boy today, who is Nathaniel Diamond.
Yes, I guess it is my birthday.
How-
Finally entering my mid-20s, which feels weird.
For all the guests,
Forget the age. Diamonds last forever.
How old are you?
I'm 24, so I'm finally in my mid-20s, which is having a bit of a mild existential crisis.
You don't need to. You're too handsome to worry about it, you little bitch.
So I should just go straight into like a midlife crisis, get a
Yeah.
red sports car,
Yeah,
just
why not?
lean into it,
Just lean
Oh,
into
absolutely.
No. Fucking dive into it. Don't lean.
dive. So I should
Yeah,
just get
don't
a
lean.
red Corvette with chrome wheels.
For
Well,
sure. Yeah, and put an
Red-
Evo engine in that.
And you can't evil swap a Corvette.
I did. Okay, so
That's so
I'm
sacrilege.
gonna show you this real quick because it is your birthday, and
no.
and it kind of makes sense to show you this.
What kind of porn are you gonna show me?
Car porn.
Oh.
All right, so everyone listening to the podcast, give us like a hot minute to like listen to
It's
this
like it's a Supra.
with a V10. It's
Wait,
got a
from where?
It's a V10 swap.
From what?
Supra with a V10 swap. The new FT1s.
Yeah, but what V10 do they get?
Obviously the Viper. It revved at 11,000 RPMs.
How does a V10
That's
rev to
nuts.
11K though? I didn't think they could.
Motorcycle engines do that.
Yeah, but those aren't V10s, dude.
Yeah,
I know you
it
can
revved
in,
to
like-
11,000
in,
RPMs.
Like the S2K would rev up to 10. I didn't think you could with a V10. I thought that was too big to do that.
Anything's
It just
possible.
had too much displacement.
Anything's possible.
A Viper swapped Supra. I would 100% kill myself in that, and I would love every second of it.
I would too.
I want a first-gen Viper so badly, strictly because it would kill me within an hour. It's
Well,
like a dominatrix.
One of my
but
brother's
car
friends
form.
had one, and he said it was just too much.
Right, because there's no traction control. There's like nothing that's actually keeping you on the road. You can drive it smart, but how can you really drive it smart? If you're
100%.
driving a first-gen Viper, you're not smart, and I love it.
Well, today's episode, obviously, we love cars.
Yes, I'm a nerd.
If you go back a few episodes, there was a car episode that we had.
Yeah, that's right.
We had a car episode.
Talked about design of cars.
Talked about design. Hey, chairs in the back. If you want to see what you see here. But today we're going to talk about cartoons because all of us grew up with...
As opposed to cars talking about cartoons.
Exactly. We all grew up with, most of us, excluding a fucking
feel like
birthday
the-
boy.
Some of us.
Just because I wasn't allowed to watch cartoons growing up does not mean I should be excluded from this.
You're not excluded, you're in control.
I was making a joke.
Of course.
But most of all of you guys also grew up with cartoons on Saturday mornings, and we're going to talk about little cartoons on Saturdays.
Because we're recording this on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, we record on Saturday mornings and Wednesday nights.
Well, it's like
Is
2
it
o'clock
still
right
morning?
now.
Yeah, it's not
But-
morning.
No, it's not 2 o'clock, but for the audience, they didn't know that. So we're just not going to acknowledge the time.
It's
being
right,
2 in
yeah.
the afternoon.
It's
Well,
still morning in Hawaii.
We're just going to pretend it's 10 a.m.
It is still morning in Hawaii.
It's 10 a.m. somewhere.
It's still morning in Hawaii,
Is
so
it 10 a.m. somewhere?
Sure, Alaska.
it's 10 a.m.
Well, I don't think that's how-
somewhere.
I don't think Alaska's 4 hours behind us.
There.
I mean, maybe some parts of Alaska. Like, I mean,
I don't think any part of Alaska is 4 hours behind Denver. It's 4 hour. Like I think there might be some parts that are 4 hours behind, like the East Coast, but not like 4 hours behind Mountain. I don't. I think it goes straight from like Hawaii's like 3 hours behind Denver until like
okay, so there's nothing
tomorrow.
There's nothing that's 6 hours behind us because, I know that much because UTC minus 12 is actually a control group.
right.
Because there's no permanent residencies in the areas at UTC minus 12.
Well, we're gonna dive back into cartoons real quick.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
we should do that because that's the
yeah,
topic.
that's the actual topic. Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and start about things I used to love watching in the mornings on Saturdays when I was a kid.
Cartoons.
Well, duh, no shit.
I was
Yeah.
where we were going with this.
Were
Yeah,
you
yeah,
in
yeah.
like the cartoon like we're both the same age, so yeah, we were both part of like the cartoon age.
Yeah, it's
cartoon
like
cartel.
Boomerang started coming around because it was too old.
Oh yeah,
Like we're kind of mixing that at the midpoint, like Flintstones and Space Ghost Coast to Coast. all that kind of shit. Like that was
Well, Space Ghost wasn't. Okay, that wasn't actually Boomerang. That was the beginning of Adult Swim.
but it started as Boomerang, which pre-Boomerang.
Did it really? Huh.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast was like a superhero in the Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
He started off as like a superhero, but it turned out to be like an adult show later because he was not loved.
No,
at
yeah,
all.
definitely. He was the most boring thing to watch on Cartoon Network.
And if you guys hear whining in the back, it's just a bunch of little Cuban children in the back. Just kidding.
That sounds really.
It's just kidding.
racist.
It's just some dogs in the back that are a little pissed that we're not inviting them to the podcast.
I mean, they're still back there. They're just behind a door because they can't behave.
They cannot.
Yeah.
I also, before we start actually diving into cartoons, I want to give a little shout out to Nathan for spilling a drink on my computer.
Of course.
Like right before we started.
And you know what?
filming.
It still works.
It still works.
And now it's just truly scented.
Yeah, it's
It's flavored.
Oh,
It's
truly it is?
I flavored your laptop. You're welcome.
It was the apple flavor truly too, so it's really an Apple laptop.
That's why it's so pissed. It's just mixed berries.
Oh, was that it? Oh, that's why it's actually mad. Because
Those are
they're mixing
flavor.
Flavors. You
Oh,
can't do
it's the
that.
wrong flavor. Okay, I see how it is.
Yeah, so actually, I'm gonna dive back into this shit again. Flintstones.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone
What
here
about them?
does everyone here knows the Flintstones, right?
I'm
Yeah.
aware of them.
No, yeah. I mean, they had a good run, and then like,
Had a good run with.
okay, so
They
actually,
had a good run. It sounds like someone's about to die for execution. They had a good run.
Oh, they had a good run. Good for them.
That's kind of what it is, like canceling a TV show, though, right?
Were the
Yeah.
Flintstones ever canceled,
I mean-
or did the people just stop watching them?
I don't know.
It was
I think
racist as shit. Are you
Was
kidding
it
me?
racist?
it was kind of racist, but like,
It was also the 60s.
and I mean, yeah, you had like basically dinosaurs acting as like basically servants to like the human people.
Right, because the race known as dinosaurs.
They still matter now, you know. Like they're still a voting demographic.
Yeah.
My favorite part about like going back to old TV shows was the cigarette ads in the intermissions. That
Oh
was
my
part of
God.
It was like you had Fred Flintstone like promoting Winston's because 9
were
out of
the
10
big-
doctors agree that it's better for your health to smoke cigarettes.
Well, dude, that was, I mean, you're not kidding. Like, and the funny part is, like, all of tobacco actually like tried to center on kids,
Right.
because that was the biggest demographic. They get hooked right then, and then you're fucking solid.
Yeah.
And
Winston's taste good like a cigarette should.
Winston's
That was their slogan.
sponsored Flintstones for 25 years. Solid.
That
And
is
there
nuts.
was actually smoking during the cartoons for
Yeah.
for fucking children.
And it was Winston. Like that would be the intermission was
cigarette break.
schlepping Winston. Right.
It's a cigarette break. Hey, make sure you have a cigarette break. It's like this for kids.
So I'm glad we got away from that for cartoons.
For sure.
And going back into cartoons and having a great nostalgic time.
Yeah.
Nostalgia for cartoons.
Part of me
that's more
wonders
than
if this
I
is
feel.
like,
We're realizing our nostalgic childhood is more like a marketing ad for our less of our lives.
for sure. I don't know. I feel like that really curtailed at the at our turn of cartoons. Like, you didn't really see Dexter's Lab advertising anything besides omelette du fromage.
That's
Advertise cheese
Omelette du
omelets.
fromage.
the French episode of Dexter.
Yes.
It's so good.
The best episode ever, to be honest.
There's so much I wish I could actually just like osmosis knowledge into my brain just by listening to it.
I wish it was the fact, but I'm like a still tank when it comes to learning things. I try so hard, and
Right.
it's like
My
comes
brain's
out.
too smooth. Every word just like slides off. my brain is lubricated.
Well, let's go around in a circle quick and talk about everyone's favorite cartoon that they grew up with. Nathan, you're first.
Okay, so I gotta say, I wasn't allowed to watch either of them really, but
Wait,
I would
either
s-
of what?
either of my two favorite cartoons.
Well, say them real quick.
Well, obviously Ed, Edd and Eddy and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Ed, Edd and Eddy was so flippin' smart for its age. Like, yeah, sure. They said like
Put his drink down, by the way.
They said idiot and stuff like that, which my parents didn't
Ooh,
approve
idiot.
of. But they had a whole episode on how the stock market works.
Yep.
They basically satired the whole thing by basically explaining how it's all run by speculation.
I mean, it is. They weren't wrong.
And they dumbed it down to a point where kids could understand
Can't
the
have kids
levels of
understanding the stock
stupid
market.
speculation that drove the stock market.
Well, the fact they had a guy that was like literally covered in gravy, it's like buttered toast,
Buttered toast.
and they was talking about the stock market is fucking insane.
Oh, I know.
And the
Yeah, I
other
love it
cartoon?
because, like, obviously, like the three Eds play off of each other
The
so
three
well on it.
Eds.
It's like
Courage the Cowardly Dog and yeah.
so, like,
I didn't watch
Yeah,
either of
I
those.
mean, when you think about it, like it's literally like Ed is like the true entrepreneur. Like he doesn't care about like he like basically doesn't care about like if it's gonna work or how it's gonna work. Like he just wants to make it happen. Double D, he's like all
Smart
in the
one. He's a
he's
smart
all in the
one.
logistics. Yeah, he's in the logistics of making things work. Ed, he's the control group. He's like your basic like
The
he's-
average American.
He is your average consumerist that like likes things, and somehow none of the three work together, and they always fail because of it.
Buttered toast.
But yeah, the other one's Courage the Cowardly Dog, and
Honestly, let's dive in that a little bit. I'm gonna let you go on what you feel about it because I'm gonna grab another drink.
okay.
I'm gonna let her talk to me.
Oh, that's a whole lot of.
All right, guest
responsibility.
host Andrea, what's up?
Guest shot. How do you feel about Courage the Cowardly Dog? Did you watch it? Did you not watch it?
Okay. All right. Okay. Stage fright. Cool.
I'm good.
I mean, I'm kind of sipping what I got. So yeah,
This
Courage
is
the
quite the
Cowardly Dog.
intermission. I was not allowed to watch pretty much any cartoon growing up, which I'm not really sure why, but
We talked about this a little.
Right.
Am I coming up on the
is your
meters?
Is it on?
You're
Am I coming up on the meters?
You're good. You're
Okay.
good.
You turned it off.
No.
Turd bucket. All right. Well, what were we just talking about?
Courage the Cowardly Dog, cartoons.
Well, I got super scared of Courage the Cowardly Dog, but I still watched it all the fucking time.
Like I just see screen grabs of it now, like on Twitter, and people talking about how terrifying it was. And yeah, it's kind of fucked up shit. It's like
It's so
I think that's
fucked
why
up.
so many millennials just have like perpetual anxiety disorders is from that show being their upbringing. I didn't watch it, so I don't know what my problem is, but
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie. It's probably most of my problems. Is I watched the show, I was like shaking. I was like, but I can't stop watching Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I don't
maybe
know.
for once it was actually a good thing I didn't watch shows like that.
I don't
But yeah,
know.
I didn't watch like any cartoons growing up.
If you did watch, what'd you watch?
Like cartoons?
Yeah, what'd you watch?
Like now or when?
Whenever. Like, what's your cartoon experience?
I don't really have many because again, I like wasn't really allowed to watch.
They've
like,
been around
anime.
since the 1700s. I've seen something.
I mean, like now, like Futurama is by far my favorite show, but I don't think that really counts as like a Saturday morning cartoon. Despite the episode where they were like riffing off of Saturday morning cartoons.
We were just
with
talking about
Richard
summer.
Nixon.
We were just talking about summer cartoons. It could be a cartoon for any time, though.
I think it's kind of valid that like if you weren't able to get into cartoons as your early childhood, that like if you want to talk about like a cartoon that you like that you grew into your adolescence with, like
I obviously get all of like the SpongeBob memes because SpongeBob is just an absolute machine for memes.
oh for sure, SpongeBob's an icon.
Wait,
So, do all of us love SpongeBob?
Now I'm a huge fan.
I was a
What's-
SpongeBob fan like growing up.
What's your favorite quote then?
Let's see. Where do I go with this?
Hello,
Like-
you've reached the house of unrecognized talent. That's my favorite quote.
Oh, that's so
Squidward just
good.
answering the phone to that every time.
I
It's my
don't know.
go-to.
I mean, I think it would have to be like the part where SpongeBob finds a boulder and it's like, it's a rock. The Pilgrims used to ride these babies for miles. Actually, no. Thinking about it, it's the Krusty Krab pizza jingle.
Krusty
Krab
pizza
is the pizza for you and me. The Krusty Krab pizza is
And he starts,
the
like,
pizza.
spitting.
The Krusty Krab pizza is a pizza, yeah, for you and me.
It had never peaked the whole time.
I'm so glad
Did
we
it?
have our limiter set so well.
Did it peak?
Look at us doing stuff.
Okay, it did not peak. Holy.
There's another one.
I love us so much.
Where I forget what the context was, but he just like spoiled it when he's like fidgeting because like I think Mr. Krabs broke something or like shattered his dreams. I don't remember what it was, but he was just saying like spoiled it over and over again, and I do repeat that a lot every time I like fuck something up.
All right, I'm about to mimic my favorite SpongeBob episode.
Yeah.
Is this a Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krab?
Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick.
That one is a classic.
Yo, this is Patrick.
Are we gonna do this entire
I'm so glad I
episode just
didn't
quoting stuff
ever
SpongeBob
work
memes?
reception at REI for like the year because I probably would have had too much of a influence just to answer. No, this is Patrick every time people would call.
I wouldn't be mad at you, honestly. If I called that place and I got no, this is
He called
Patrick.
the
just
Denver
hang up.
flagship.
I just
of
hang
REI.
up. I'll just hang up and like fucking go home. It's so funny. I can't
It's
do it.
enough of a thing that people don't really realize what was said until after. So they'll like hear like, oh, okay, and then it'll take like several seconds and be like, oh, this guy just said he's Patrick. That's not REI.
Now let's talk about Courage the Cowardly Dog real quick because that was a staple for my fucking life, and I guarantee half listeners are like what 25 to 35 right now, excluding you guys 60-year-olds right now. You guys probably know about Courage the Cowardly Dog, the dong. What's
Courage
the
the
name?
Courage, the Cowardly Dong.
That's another porn.
Okay, that's a porn probably.
That's probably a
Courage
porn
the
somewhere.
cowardly dong. What would a cowardly penis be?
I don't know.
It's a scared
It's
penis.
obviously gonna be.
Would it just be hiding in its foreskin?
It's gonna be.
It's like too afraid to come out. It's shy. It kind of pokes out a little bit like, oh no, no.
My
I
forehead
shouldn't
is
do this.
currently on my microphone.
What do I do with all this skin?
Courage the cowardly penis is not Jewish.
He was circumcised. That's how we know.
Yes, because nothing is better for American culture than mutilating freshly born men.
On to the next part. So as a kid,
Controversial opinions.
I hate admitting this because like I'm not usually into Japanese animation.
I hate admitting it, but I'm going to admit it for the entire
Are we
world
about
to
to
listen
get,
to.
Yeah, I guess
dive
it's-
into
it's-
like? Are we about to dive into Toonami?
Yeah, we're about to dive into Toonami right now. 'Cause
All right.
I used to love Gundam.
Okay,
Gundam.
so
That was
okay.
like my favorite shit of all time. Like, I used to love the little like the Japanese robots and like they're out in space and they're beating the shit out of other Japanese robots and
You know, it's funny. I never actually got into Gundam, but I think it's also because some point, like, well, I never got into the Gundam as a kid, but that's because I was caught up in Dragon Ball Z. Because what kid wasn't?
I wasn't.
we'll dive into that in a second. We will dive into that in a second.
All right,
watched
go
it,
on,
like,
go
the
on,
abridged.
Gundam.
Let's finish talking about Gundam first, and we'll dive into
Okay.
dive into the DBZ.
Going with Gundam. Yeah, let's commit war crimes. Basically, all of Gundam.
Pretty much, that's what it was. It was like commit war crimes everywhere.
just like perpetual fascism. Is that Gundam?
Well, like the lead character, like always like I'm doing it for like society, and like you take a step back, you're like, dude, you're such a dick.
It's like at some point, yeah, Joseph Stalin did shit for society.
He's still a dick.
I mean, he did. What was the whole thing about his trains?
Oh, about Joseph Stalin's trains, or
Yeah, there was like a whole thing defending him because his trains were like always on time.
Oh, I don't know. Probably because like
He's a dictator. Like,
it's
what do you
probably
fucking
because like there were
expect?
dead bodies behind getting every train on time or something like that.
Well, how do you pilot, command, fly a train if you're dead?
It's probably something like put rocket boosters on the train so
Rocket boosted trains.
Excelsior!
Is
Or-
it the sound you make as a train?
You're a train.
Are you gonna run a train on me? Is that what you're saying?
It's your birthday, so
Oh, true.
Excelsior.
You know what's funnier than 24?
69.
Oh. You're literally 12 years old.
I know. growing up's a facade.
I've tried not to.
Maturity's overrated.
Let's talk about fucking DBZ a little bit because
DBZ
that
abridged.
was
I remember that.
that was a huge part of my childhood.
Good heavens, yeah.
Good heavens.
Just scream until you have more power.
Yeah, I
That's
did
how sex works, isn't it?
I tried that, and everyone just ran out of the bedroom.
Everyone?
Everyone.
How many people were in there?
It was like 3 girls
Even
and
if you,
me
like,
just
gathered all your
yelling,
strength?
at things. I was like, "Hey!"
It's like
okay, I'm out.
you can't get it up, so you just like screaming at your dick
Yeah.
because it's too cowardly.
Hoping it'll go Super Saiyan.
Happens to the best.
Doesn't happen to Johnny Sins.
Or Johnny Bravo.
Dude,
I
okay,
don't
so
know.
Cartoon
Johnny Bravo
talk.
was the rapiest fucking cartoon ever.
I don't know what's going on with Dragon Ball now, but like I've seen
still
clips.
around?
I've seen clips of Dragon Ball Super where Frieza goes Super Saiyan.
It keeps on going too far. Like the Dragon Ball Z, the last thing that was really good was when Frieza got beat.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last cool thing.
It took about 30 episodes and like 14 hours of screen time, but like he finally got beat.
And 24 hours of screaming.
Yeah,
That's
wasn't
title
the
of my autobiography?
it was
24
only
hours of
supposed to
screaming.
last like a full like 14 minutes because like the Earth was only supposed to like or the planet like the planet was like literally destroying itself like over 14 minutes and then like but like the screen time for it took a whole hour.
I mean, have you seen like my destruction arc? It feels like I should have ruined my life in 14 minutes, but it still just keeps going. So that makes sense. You know, a
God.
cartoon I absolutely was not allowed to watch, and I still have no idea why, was Scooby-Doo. I've asked my parents why I wasn't allowed.
boo.
Okay, so
Boo to your
Scooby-Doo,
parents.
where are
I
you?
gotta ask
Boo
the,
parents.
I would have to ask anybody why somebody's not allowed to watch Scooby-Doo.
That was a fantastic question that I literally asked me mom, and she was like, I don't know why I didn't let you watch Scooby-Doo growing up. It might have been a bad influence. I'm not really sure.
It's
She has
like-
no idea why.
I've got an answer for it.
It's like my mom loved Scooby-Doo.
I got an answer for it. Because my mom did the same thing for a little bit.
Was it just like
Seriously?
the
I,
weed
t- I talked her. I
influences?
talked her out of it. Was Scooby-Doo was evidently like satanic for some reason.
But they proved
During-
all the ghosts were just like capitalism.
No.
Yeah,
no,
all the
I-
ghosts
I
were,
I
like,
know
some-
what
yeah.
you're saying, but I'm talking about the national aspect of what they're talking about.
What do you mean the national aspect? Like the
Because-
national?
Because like when I was a kid, like Scooby-Doo got fucking shit on really hard.
Did it?
Scooby-Doo. Wait, when?
Way back in the day, like I was like
Way
7.
back in the day.
Is this like by like Mennonites and stuff like that? Like
Of course it is.
Let's the satanic panic of the 90s.
Satanic panic.
I thought that was like purely like the 70s and stuff.
The satanic panic was huge in like the late 80s and 90s with like the whole don't let your children go to a park because every park has Satanists that are going to sacrifice your child.
That was true for my fucking town.
Right.
Because okay, let's.
Every small town had Satan.
All right, listen.
Satan
I know it's a
panic.
cartoon episode, but I want to talk about a satanic thing real quick.
I know it's a cartoon episode, but I want to get political real quick.
But I was in high school, a little post high school, and I was,
Like
I was trying to
post-grunge.
meet up with this girl.
Ooh.
Whatnot,
As you
and-
do.
As you do, and we had to like me and this friend had to walk through like a highway and all this other stuff, like go through to go meet this girl, right?
You and a friend
And-
were meeting the girl? Where's the story
Well,
going?
shit, well, there was a whole slumber party of women, so like
There's this slumber party of women.
it was 2 guys and 8 girls. Like, what do you expect as high school? I was like, yes, I'm gonna fucking trek across God's green earth to fucking get there.
I'll crawl through.
I was in
broken
high school.
glass.
I was like, fuck, I will trek anything to go get there. So like we we traveled through all this like stupid fucking shit, and we started hearing like a drum. I was like, I'm gonna do this on the microphone so you can hear it. So it was like.
That's him slapping
So,
his leg to
yeah,
the drum beat.
Yeah, so and we heard this fucking drum beat in the fucking like as we were crossing through this highway, and it was like this drum beat like back and forth like constantly kept on going, right? And like we started freaking out like it was like fucking like Blair Witch Project or some shit.
I remember that.
And we ended up getting it to where we needed to be, and about a few years later, I talked to my brother about it, and I was like, yeah, I kind of hear this like drum beat. He's like. And I was like, well, what the fuck was that about? Because he lived there for like 18 years before I was there, and he was like, yeah, there's a satanic cult out there that like sacrifices people and goats all the time.
I feel like that was made up. I feel like you would know if they were like actively sacrificing people.
Well, I called him out on that bullshit, and I actually looked up the newspaper records, and there was actually satanic rituals out there with goats that were like slaughtered.
But not people.
They're missing.
They're missing people.
Yes.
So they were they were probably sacrificed.
Yeah, missing people. So I told him that he was like, you got through the whole forest without anyone fucking with you. I was like,
That's impressive.
yeah.
Never
we did.
underestimate the power of a horny high school kid.
Exactly. That actually, that's the whole point to my story is never underestimate a horny high school kid because they will get through hell and high water to get some pussy.
Literal hell. Actual fire and brimstone. Just to get laid.
And lo and behold, the cop stopped us.
So you got cop blocked.
I got cop cock blocked.
Oh, cop cock blocked. It's the worst kind.
Yeah, the worst kind. Anyway, cartoons, you know.
Right. I forgot about those.
I used to love this. I used to love this one show, and it was a boomerang.
show?
It was a boomerang show
Okay.
back in the day.
Not like boomerang, like the Instagram boomerang.
No, not at all. It was. It wasn't like Flintstones, but it was like dinosaurs, and it was like superheroes. It was like
are you
it was a
making
very
sense?
no.
Dinosaurs and superheroes?
No, it was this whole thing. Like, I had this like little blob that, like, used to turn into things, and
Like Flubber?
I love Flubber.
I haven't seen a movie in so long. But that's what I thought of.
Dude, R.I.P. Robin Williams.
For real, though.
For real.
So there was a cartoon with dinosaurs, and were the dinosaurs superheroes, or
Yes, actually, they were. That was the funny part. It was like before time superheroes.
I'm imagining like a T-Rex and like a
What
little
is this
tiny,
show
like,
I'm talking about?
like, like a superhero like
I don't
mask
know.
and
I'm
just
trying to think
covering his
about it
eyes.
because I don't know what you're
It
talking
was like
about.
gonna
really
do- I'm
old
gonna-
school cartoonish,
I'm gonna
though. It was like
Google
really
this.
old school. Yeah, old school dinosaur shit.
Dinosaur superheroes. I'm
Yeah,
literally
Andre, you
going
talk
to
YP.
Google.
Is this like the punk sharks? Like there was a
Punk
whole
Sharks?
episode.
It was not Street Sharks. No.
Okay, not
Street Sharks was the fucking dope, though. I actually had the VHS when I was a kid.
Dinosaur superhero cartoon. Let's see. Is there any? There's Devil Dinosaur. That's a Marvel comic. I'm not finding.
Devil Dinosaur is definitely its own thing.
I think he made this up. Wait, no. There's a screen grab. Dinosaur superheroes. The movie. No, that can't be it.
I don't know. So
The
they made a
Mighty
movie out of like
Dinosaurs.
everything.
But is there? I remember. No, it's Dragon Tales. I'm thinking of. Never mind. It wasn't
Oh boy,
dinosaurs.
Dragon Tales was legit good. Like I watched that even though I was too old to watch Dragon Tales.
There was some cartoon that was, I think, on the same channel as Dragon Tales. That was like this boy that would shrink down to the size of like a toy, and then there was something about him like diving through a lake and finding like secret toy worlds in a lake that I just have like random like lucid dreams about every now and then.
Honestly, that sounds like an amazing
What the hell
show.
was that? Yeah, there's no dinosaur superhero cartoons I could find.
Bullshit.
I googled dinosaur superhero cartoon.
That's bullshit.
And I'm trying to find it. This was like what, in the 80s when like everyone was too much on cocaine to make a normal TV show?
It was the 90s, okay?
Oh, so then they were
was
just
the
doing
90s.
like LCD.
Boomerang.
LSD, not LCD. That's a fucking TV technology.
Cartoons.
Want to go into the woods and trip on some LCD?
Kids these days.
If I actually made this up in my head, I'm gonna be fucking
I
pissed.
think you might have.
There's no way. I'm too hyper intelligent.
I'm just hyper. I'm not intelligent. So in this awkward silence, is there any other cartoons you can think of that actually existed?
I don't
Talk
know.
about Dragon Ball Z for a second.
Oh yeah,
I think we could have
don't
our
know
own
that.
like. I mean, we could start diving into Adult Swim, but I think we should have our own spin-off on Adult Swim because, like,
Let's talk about South Park.
I mean, South Park's good.
It's a good local support local.
Well, let's be honest. Like, South Park has been going along so long because they are so great at hitting out hypocrisies in fucking society.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how long it's been since, whether it's 98 all the way to fucking like now. The pandemic special was so fucking
Okay, so I
spot
got
on.
to admit, the early episodes of South Park didn't really start that way. They started just kind of like, like it really just kind of started like apparently they were like webtoons early on, and then they got
They were
nabbed
the-
up by Comedy Central.
But that
They
was
were
like,
the first viral video technically because the people like recreated their first like episode with Santa Claus.
and it was online. I thought
Well,
that
no,
was like way before.
It was all
online.
taped. It was all taped. So people like replaced the tape over and over again. And they went fucking viral to the standards.
Right.
And people were replacing the tape, and that's how South Park got big. Because people
By
like,
original viral marketing.
yeah, well, by fucking unlicensing.
I don't know. It was the wild internet. Like, I wouldn't. I mean, whatever laws were broken back then, like, don't matter now.
Because they're fucking famous as shit.
buying up Casa Bonita and shit.
Casa Bonita. Casa
Mm-hmm.
Bonita.
I really want to.
Apparently, they actually hired a really good chef to like make their food, so they're gonna actually be
good
good.
I'm
food
not sure
instead
how
of.
good food at Casa Bonita will really work out.
So good food will not make you sick.
But I don't think people go to Casa Bonita for like food though, do they?
They don't go for the. Well, they used to not go for the food. I imagine now they'll go for the food and the experience.
That
So
seems like too much.
it's
One of
probably
those
going to
is
be
gonna
like
lack.
it's going to be one of those.
If the food is good, the experience will be shit.
No, I mean, okay, so Casa Bonita, like, it didn't. I wouldn't say it really had that much of an experience to begin with, but like, and at the same time, their food would make you sick. You can at least make food that doesn't make you sick.
Because it's owned by
That's
somebody
not as
that
fun.
didn't give a fuck about anything about profits. But now, like, the South Park owners own it, and
Yeah.
they're changing everything up.
Right, because now they're actually opening it up for instead of just being like a random shitty chain, which I didn't realize it was the chain until like relatively recently when I read an article about like it first opening here and it was just like a chain of restaurants.
Yeah, even then, it was apparently this Casa Bonita was different from the rest of the Casa Bonitas.
Right, there's something special about it that made it stay open way longer than every other one.
Oh, I know, yeah.
It was the Cliff Divers.
Definitely the Cliff Divers.
I assume
Maybe
they
the
all would
monkey
have
suit.
Cliff divers, right?
Not necessarily.
There were just other like random shitty Mexican restaurants.
Dude, it takes a lot to, like, drill into the... Whatever, it doesn't matter. Cartoons.
Okay, so cartoons, South Park.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So all of our listeners, we're so sorry about our ADHD, but make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, Discord. We're on Spotify, Green Room now. All the different shits. It's a kind of a bad time for me to say that, but I'm just
What's
gonna
our
say it anyway.
Instagram name again?
We have Art Mart Official for our Instagram.
It's like what? R_Mart_official? Or is
Yes.
it- Okay.
Our Art_official. Make sure you guys are following on the blog too on Trips 2 Cents because that's we run all of our podcasts stuff other than Trips 2 Cents. So make sure that you're following that too because you guys get direct interaction with that kind of stuff too. I'm gonna shut the fuck up and talk about cartoons now.
Sweet.
Dragon Ball Z
Okay. Yeah.
because you watched it too.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
When Goku went Super Saiyan, you lost your shit as a kid.
oh, absolutely. No, the part where he
Lost
came
your
back
shit.
from the freaking dead.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, apparently he was not supposed to come back from the dead. That was supposed to be the moment that Gohan actually ascended to Goku's role. But
People are too
people
obsessed with Goku.
people trip so much ass over Goku dying, like that it actually threatened the fan
They
base.
tripped ass.
Yeah, they tripped ass.
Is that a saying?
Sure.
now it is.
Yeah. So
The English language is fluid.
yeah, they tripped
They
over
tripped
their own
ass.
assholes.
They tripped over their asshole?
yes.
Is it like prolapsed?
Oh
Just hanging
God!
out like
It's like a prolapse gone wrong, and
God
you trip
damn.
on it
It's
at
like
the
a really
same time.
fucked up tail just hanging out of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they have these tails to their day.
Should we have to
And the moon shine, and whenever the full moon shines, they turn into a gorilla.
Wait, is that a reference to something? Or
Yeah, Dragon Ball.
they turn into a gorilla?
Yeah,
and-
actually, so the original, like I watched Dragon Ball the original as a kid because it would show up late nights. So
It's actually pretty good.
Goku originally had a tail when he was a kid,
And he
and
turned into a gorilla?
Because they're Saiyans, it's a different race.
Saiyans were a different race. And whenever the full moon shone, they would turn into these giant gorillas that destroyed everything around them. And
This sounds racist, and I'm not sure how.
I mean, the
It's alienist, maybe.
alienist, sure.
Species?
But-
Speciest?
That
Specist?
so yeah, that old man, or it was like Piccolo or something. Like Piccolo actually, like
Is that an instrument?
Piccolo, yeah. I mean, it is
In a person
and
or
a
an
person.
alien.
He is a Namekian or whatever.
A what?
He is a specific
Namekian.
Namekian, yes.
Is that a person
So-
or an alien?
He actually, either way, he destroyed the moon.
How do you? I feel like that would fuck up the oceans too much. How do you destroy the moon?
He literally like okay, so he basically sent a ball of energy out to the moon and blew it up.
That sounds problematic.
Yeah.
First of all,
So yeah, obviously like tides and stuff like that.
like
You
the
know,
Earth moon.
Yes, the Earth moon.
So, what happened? Did like
So
the oceans break?
you know, I don't really remember that episode
I
all
don't
too
remember
much.
that at
All I
all.
remember is, yeah, Goku couldn't turn like Gorilla Saiyan anymore.
That'd be a good way to defeat your rival if they were like powered by the moon. That's what Zuko should have done in Avatar, was just destroy the moon.
Just destroy the
So
moon.
that way
Just
the
send a
water tribe
giant
couldn't
fireball
fight.
to the
Right.
moon.
Instead of like trying to fight. Wow, I can't remember her name. Oh, this is really stupid of me. Katara.
I love this so
instead of
much.
just, like, fighting her during a full moon in Antarctica, he could have just destroyed the moon and then skip that whole fight.
Oh, yeah.
Let's jump into Courage the Cowardly Dog a little bit, because that was a huge stepping point for at least both of us, right?
I mean,
Courage
Courage
the
the
Cowardly
Cowardly Dog was like one of those. It definitely made me a lot less afraid of real life things because I had to be less afraid of the cartoon in front of me.
Oh god, dude, that fucking show, like
When the moon came down and hung out with them in the attic and made them almost melt to death,
it scared the fuck out of me, dude.
that was
How do you?
when the
what?
Vikings. When the
They're
when the
Vikings?
ghost Vikings came every time the windmill stopped.
no. For me, it was that fucking mole person. The fucking like little like.
As someone who
Oh,
never
yeah.
watched any of it, all these words don't make sense at all.
It's okay. You gotta go back, go back and relive your childhood, which you missed.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's this one episode, like this like mole person, like, and Courage the Cowardly Dog's like having a speedboat going through this fucking like, weird cavern, and there's like this creepy ass music, like as he's going through this fucking cavern, and like this like fucking like mole person's trying to kill him.
Oh yeah. I remember that episode. I don't remember that one really freaking me out that much. I just was enthralled in it
It
because
scared the fuck out
I
of
think
me.
that was the moment I realized I really like slasher thrillers.
At Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog officially fucked up our entire generation.
Except me.
We all
You're
really
post our generation. You're just a young buck.
we are all really jaded to horror movies now just because we were like thrown into them as a kid. I think the one that got to me was when like Muriel and Eustace were turned into puppets.
Oh god, that was so fucked up.
There was
Yeah.
a town next to where I went to college called Eustace.
I wonder
It's
if
not
he's-
important. I just remembered it when you said Eustace.
Yeah, I wonder-
Eustace, Florida was
the
an actual
character
town.
Eustace might be named after that guy. I don't know.
I think it was just like deep south shit to just have like random towns named after people. What in the ever loving fuck is going on over
They're
there?
cracking someone's toes.
That's what that's what I thought. I saw
I got
and
it.
heard. I wish that wasn't what was actually going on.
Anywho,
Yeah.
And then there was like the adult cartoons like King
Oh.
of the Hill or Simpsons or my personal favorite Futurama.
I don't
Fucking
understand
love
why I wasn't
Futurama.
allowed to watch King of the Hill. It is basically the epitome of Texas culture.
I think it's because it was too much like realistic Texas culture. They were like, "Oh, we don't like this because it's too accurate."
Right? It speaks to us too much.
Right. We don't
Yeah.
like that much level of accuracy.
We're too triggered by this show.
Snowflakes.
how about South Park? Because we're all from Denver.
I'd never really watched South Park.
I watched
much,
I watched a lot
obviously.
of South Park as a teenager. Like, a lot of the like. I mean, I don't know. Looking back on it now, so much of it is like double satire. It's like, it's to the
Dicker
point.
Dervs.
It's
That's
to the
not a fan of the quote.
it's to the point where it appeals.
Dick, dick, dick,
It's
derv.
it's to the point where it appeals to the people that it makes fun of. Like,
I mean, there's a certain level of like self-realization when you can like watch that and see it's like calling you out in specific and not be offended by it. 'Cause you're like, oh wait, that's actually what we are as a person. Versus like modern Family Guy, which is like we're just gonna be offensive for no reason and not that funny.
That's true. That's very true. What I like about South Park though is over Family Guy is the fact that they poke at hypocrisy at everything.
Versus
sure.
just like I'm gonna be bigoted and you
Yeah.
have to find it funny. If not, you're a snowflake. This is the ironic hypocrisy of life, and we're not making any more commentary other than just pointing it out.
Well, yeah, that's why South Park can't get canceled, is because they're talking about truths. And that's the funny part about like satire. You can do anything you want with
They're
satire.
not like stating their own opinion like other wannabe
true,
offensive. Like
true,
we offend
true,
everyone
true.
TV shows. It's just they're exemplifying it. They're just stating it and then allowing people to make their own prejudices and assumptions.
you know, part of me thinks that it's because of like the four characters of South Park are very much like different from each other. Like Cartman and Kyle are a good like two juxtapositions. Like they
Oh my God, they killed
represent
Kenny.
complete opposite sides of the coin. Obviously Kenny always dying, but like,
Oh my god, they killed Kenny.
They stopped doing that like halfway through the fucking
Did
the
they?
season.
That shows how little I've
oh
watched.
yeah, they did that halfway through like the entire like series that they did. They ran out of ways for
Wow.
Kenny to die, and then they started like making Kenny out to be like. So I mean, they did a really good example of that with Soto Sopa. With, like
Yes.
basically
Yes.
they made him a icon of gentrification.
Which is what, unfortunately, a lot is going on.
And of course, they were
around
making
here.
fun of Lodo, Lohi Sobo, like Rhino. They were making fun of all of that with
They
it.
put in all that shit.
Yeah.
And they made it over Kenny's house too. Like Kenny's house is still there. It's like the best part of like still have a refined aspect of Denver.
Oh yeah, you get historic views of great views of historic Kenny's house.
Is it like Kenny Bunkport in Maine? Kenny's
Kenny?
house? Kenny Bunkport? Never mind. That's like 3 people will get that joke. And I love and appreciate you. Those 3 people specifically.
Shout out to Maine.
Well, yeah.
Or the Maine, the band, if they're listening to this. I'm seeing you guys in April.
I saw them at Warped Tour a few times.
I didn't really get into concerts until like relatively recent enough. Like everyone I'm seeing, people are like, oh yeah, I saw them like 10 years ago. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I still get to see them.
That's kind of me too.
Like-
Warped Tour.
When? That's probably like 2010, 2011.
We went 40.
For what?
40.
We are in fact at 40 minutes. Yeah.
So Trip asked what time we're at, and then Nathan just held up 4 fingers, which means absolutely nothing when it comes to time. Just 4, not like a 4 and a 0.
4 times 10.
He just 4.
I just saw how many fingers are going on my butt today, and I
That
was
was
like,
4
I was like, shit,
fingers.
that's like 2 more than I wanted.
So 2 is the limit.
Yeah, I guess so for my butthole.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I poop
What's
that.
that,
I feel like I poop that
like,
big sometimes.
Was it like a raccoon? How many raccoons can fit up your ass? I remember seeing a statistic about how much they can like squeeze their body down.
I think I can fit 3 up my butt.
3 raccoons.
3. But
Are
anyway,
there any cartoonified raccoons? I'm trying to remember. I was gonna make a reference to one, but I can't remember if there was a cartoonified raccoon.
the Guardians of the Galaxy has got one of them.
But that's like that's not a cartoon.
But
That's
he's like a legit
CGI.
trash
I know
panda.
he's like CGI, but like
It's Bradley Cooper. I'll let him in my butt.
Bradley Cooper is.
I'll let him in my
person.
butt.
And then you have like the baseball team somewhere in Arkansas that's literally a trash pandas because they allowed the internet to vote on their name.
He knows about the trash pandas.
Trash pandas.
Trash pandas?
Like
What?
the baseball, the minor league baseball team that's called the Trash Pandas, and their icon is
I mean,
a
obviously
raccoon in a trash
raccoons,
can.
but like, yeah.
And back home in upstate New York, shout out to the Hudson Valley Renegades. They all had several raccoons for their mascots, and they all had like different names and like different personalities for each mascot. They kind of there was, I think it was Criminal Minds or some like crime show from the early 2000s where someone was like killed wearing a raccoon costume, and that traumatized me to see them hit by a car because they were like, this is how the entire flashback
I got hit by
goes.
2 cars. You're
Right.
not traumatized by me.
But you see, this was a TV show I watched when I was like 7 years old when they were like standing on the side of the road, and it's like the flashback as they used to do in the early 2000s, and it was the guy like driving down the road. It was pitch black, and then he hits the guy wearing the raccoon costume, and I don't know why that scared me for so long, but every time I would go to the Renegades game and see the raccoon, it would remind me of watching a guy get hit. It's all TV, of course, so fake, but that still scared me.
Well, love it. We're about to end the episode for this cartoon shit.
All right, we managed to make it through a whole episode.
Just talking about cartoons and our bullshit. Well, anyway, we love our fucking viewers so much. Thank you guys so much, especially you guys in Netherlands and Belgium and Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
Yeah,
My family's from Ireland.
I love you guys in Ireland. Like
County
honestly,
Waterford is where part of my family's from.
It's Waterford. So you gotta go to Waterford.
County Waterford.
Waterford. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, blah blah blah, all the other shit.
Anywhere you can want to find us on social media.
And check us out next time because I figured out how to do Spotify Green Room.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
So we got the green light on Green Room.
We got the green light on
Is
the
it,
Green Room.
is it green room? Okay, anyway.
Anyway, you guys can talk to us now live through Green Room. And so make sure you sign up for Spotify. If you don't sign up for Spotify, please sponsor us, Spotify. If you're talking
The entirety of Spotify.
Yeah, just sponsor us because like we're gonna help out. We promise. We will not have any more spills on my computer because there's no drinks there anymore.
Yep. I suppose that is now law of the Trip apartment.
There's no more spilling alcohol on the laptop.
I love how we had a good talk together with that. And future as future is really funny to talk about because he had to drink again on the fucking table where we keep our fucking computer. But anyway, as we all do, ending this shit, we all say peace together. 1, 2, 3.
Peace.